Before I start this video, I just want to let y'all know this is all because someone wanted to start the voice of Pussycat, bro. They started this because of pussy. Anyways.
Beauty, wanna be 2D, just like the movie. Somebody take me out of this gloomy world. It's gloomy, it's gloomy.
Let's talk about voice acting. Recently, within the final days of October, the voice actress for Yuichi in Bleach of 2006 decides to reprise her role in a 1,000-year-old Blood War arc. And although it was announced Anaris had the role, she had to be replaced, but she would still be voicing Yuri. So this recasting wasn't exactly an outrage. It was essentially Wendee's replies to the situation that kind of felt disingenuous. And no worries, we're gonna dive into what was wrong with this situation. But she has apologized, I think.
Not like this.
But the real reason why this video is being made is because of the responses to this situation.
You hurt black people for her? All this taught me is that the anime community can only fail itself. Damn. Maybe you should leave it.
Yeah, leave it. We don't want to.
The door's that way.
Yeah.
Voice acting shouldn't be as gatekeeping as it is. Voice acting is for everyone, from characters to even narration.
This ain't no Mickey Mouse. This ain't no Looney Tunes. This is anime.
But as far as POC's voicing characters,
if a character's race plays a vital part in who they are, like their arc and the story and the journey they go on, then it should be played by an authentic actor.
one of the main examples of this is Clem Brown from Family Guy, who was originally voiced by Mike Henry. In the earlier seasons of Family Guy, I do not care if he was voiced by him, because personally he was just a character. It didn't matter who was voicing him back then. But if you are going to have later seasons of Ewan have his own show and also talk about his race and identity, then maybe a black person would fit the role. Or maybe at the very least have a black writer who's in control, knowing what he, she, or they experience through these racial stereotypes. There's a show called Battle Athletes in which a character named Tanya was voiced by Julia Maddalena. And to be honest, I don't want a black person or a white person voicing her. In fact, I want nobody voicing her. With this being the second episode of the entire series, she starts to paint over people's faces just because of like African god of warning, and there's no African god of warning. But I'll give the previous voice actor Jetta Bird credit because at least she has her sounding normal, I guess.
Those! They're just the other arriving rockets. What if we crash? Don't have a cow. Well, you dig it?
Dig? There's a thought. Bury it.
But it's silent, and it's a lot easier to move around in.
Try to conform a little, Tanya.
Miss Fancy Fingernail Shimmy Shimmy Lip Gloss Barbie.
Yeah, the show should be buried with her, honestly. Oh yeah, speaking of which. So once I'm finished explaining, please bear with me on this. When the Blood War arc dub came around, new and reoccurring background characters were up for the audition, including Yuichi, and that's where Anaris got the role, earlier this year even.
Welcome back. So, how did it go?
Got him.
I knew you would.
What are those?
These are the distortions they've been creating, the Quincy's. He's been working us all to the bone, the tyrant.
So this is a contrast into Wendee Lee, who is somewhat patient, saying now she can't wait to get back in the world in interviews.
The Bleach remake, I guess.
Yeah, and that's still going, and I have not been a big part of it yet. So I have a very small role, Manoli, who showed up early in the first few episodes, so I got to come in and do that. But I'm like, so when do we get to Yoruichi? That's the one I'm really waiting for. So I got a little nervous about that, but the fans have been telling me, based on the manga, she has a very big part of the final story arc. So I'm looking forward to that, and I know nothing about it. So it'll all be a surprise to me. Yeah, sounds like you might know.
A few days later, after the one episode of her as Yuichi was released, Studio Opolis or whatever gave the world to Wendee Lee. They dubbed Afro Samurai and Tiger Bunny. The W Studio only had recasting for Yuichi mostly because Wendee Lee wasn't able to make it. And it's one thing to be recasted within part 3, especially since Yuichi will have a bigger role by that time, instead of here where she only has a few lines. But remember when I said one episode? She got recasted in the middle of a second season. Like, this isn't just like a bridging type of dubbing. No, this is dub crew editing type stuff. This is the actual dub studio that they had to get this stuff through.
Come in rested, prepared to have fun, ready to take direction and be an open palette, because the director will guide you into finding the character and the voice. And if you have predetermined any of those choices without the guidance of your production team, it can be difficult to unlearn that and to start over.
All of this takes time. And maybe, just maybe, they probably did this within a month or two, right? The studio even said it's too late that the episode was dropped. But my theory, right? Hear me out, is that the fans saw this episode, replied to her about it, and she responded to the production team to have her be in this role. And I have a couple of reasons for the series, since there has been malicious voice actors with nefarious intent who don't get to have that opportunity to be recasted in the middle of production. The main reason she honestly just asked for this. No, I'm serious. She, again, in interviews, have said that she has asked to play the role of Yuichi even before playing the role of Yuichi.
The fact that she was a male cat and then she turns into this beautiful woman, I had to voice her. She's one of the only times that I've approached the producers and pleaded for a role and asked if I could please read for her, and they were so kind, they just cast me in it, and I am just delighted.
We can always go back to original cast members wanting to have a more diverse cast, taking an actor union's job during the actor strike, which both of them support, or even go back to Wendee Lee's fans calling Anaris a diversity hire, even though she has stated diversity hires are completely unnecessary. But to me, this is just her being selfish in this messy situation. Like, to me, this is beyond racism. This just shows how non-person of color can still voice person of color characters, but please try to do your best and not make a mistake, you know?
Oh God.
For the fans though, yes, I do think that they're being a little bit racist. I mean, really? Come on, y'all. Now, does this mean that like all white people should never voice act POCs again? No. There's white voice actors like Jeannie Tirado, who plays Carole accurately as the singer does. Saffron Henderson as Junko sounds pretty good to me. And also she did play Saffron from Gintama, which is one of my favorite characters. Even Sonny Strait, who voiced Usopp from One Piece, brings a lot of emotion to this character that I think nobody else can do. Okay, maybe except for Jason Griffith, man.
Hey, you don't have to leave any for me. They're all yours. I'll just watch.
What I mean voice acting is for everybody, it's for everybody because they have different ranges of dynamics and expression, almost like ranges of color, but I digress. So why not open to new artists bringing in new palettes? Hearing, returning, and new voices is a privilege. And if you do not understand that, then maybe you shouldn't talk about a person who not only voices a radical rabbit, but a cool cat as well. Alright, I know there's a lot of fake outs in this video, but if they need a recast of a recast, may I recommend Christina Jade?
You never know.
She's
Life is short,
so
and you
good,
might
and
not
also
get the chance to
she speaks Japanese, bro. Do you see Wendee Lee speaking Japanese, bro?
It's a joke.
It's a joke.